Good morning, everyone. My name is Dandawa Zulu. I'm a chartered accountant by profession. I'm a married man. I've been married for 25 years. I have a daughter and two sons. My daughter is currently doing ACCA at Zika, and my other son is also doing Zika at Zika itself, the varsity. The youngest is in grade 10. So let me just get into the discussion that the topic that I want to deal with. I want to deal with love and discipline in the marketplace and at home. One of the issues that I have found to be very difficult for us to progress in life has been to do with discipline. We all want to succeed. We all want to get the best out of this life, but the aspect of discipline is one thing that we try to avoid at all costs. And you will realize that this is one area that has actually made a lot of us to struggle with life, because the ideal situation is not backed by indiscipline but by discipline. So I'll go straight to I'll try to cite scripture so just to help us understand that the marketplace is not void of scripture. Many of us have gone into the marketplace. We are sitting at high levels in authority. Some of us at our lowest point in lowest levels in the marketplace. But at the end of the day, we still think that we would still succeed, or succeeding is a matter of chance. But I always indicate that success is all about discipline. And if we all put our heads together into this area, we'll see our areas where we are lacking. One of the issues that God speaks about discipline, it's in the book of Proverbs 3:12, where he says, because the Lord disciplines those he loves, as a father, the son, he delights in him. Hebrews also talks about because the Lord disciplines those he loves, he punishes everyone he accepts as a son. Now, whenever you reach a point where there is mischief or there is a problem that arises, be it in the marketplace or at home, discipline can never be disassociated to love. If you really love someone and you say you love something so much, you will give it the necessary attention where discipline is concerned. If you want to see your family succeed, if you want to see yourself succeed at family level, and also as as a couple or as a married person, you have to inculcate discipline in that area of your life. I have worked for 30 years now, and I've observed that indeed the race is not to the swift. And in my area of work, I have seen people cut corners sometimes. And for a season, they look to flourish and things work out for them. But finally, because discipline is not mated on them, eventually it catches up with everyone. So I want I want to submit to everyone listening to me that discipline is key in everything that you do. And you cannot love without discipline. Even in the area of a family, like what I indicated, marriage, if I really love my wife, I will ensure that there's discipline on my part and also on her part. When we are demanding, even as a husband, I'm demanding for my wife to submit to me. I'll demand also for respect in line with the scriptures. I must also be in a position to be disciplined enough for me to anchor that position or that leadership that I want to display. Where you find a man in a home cannot control the wife, cannot teach the wife, cannot counsel the wife, and vice versa, you will see a lot of problems in such a relationship, if I have to take it up to do with family. But again, the same issue when you see in the marketplace, we work with people we like a lot. Sometimes we love a lot, And even when they make mistakes, sometimes we cover them. Instead of allowing the due process of discipline, we cover them. But what we are doing is that we are not teaching them to learn. And we're not giving God an opportunity to discipline them, because we are cutting short of that particular process. In the end, we have seen people after some time losing out in life because they missed an opportunity maybe 5 years ago to be disciplined in that same area. Because we should always realize as children of God, and also just as individuals, that there will always come a Pharaoh who did not know Joseph. And when that person comes, he may go back and check that character. He may not tolerate your character because you have not matured enough to learn a lot with what you have gone through. Because every time when you're supposed to be disciplined, you are cutting corners. And people were defending you, people were protecting you. And I always tell, and I will communicate this to the meeting here, that the person who avoids you to be punished does not love you. I will just submit that as plain as possible. The person who cuts the process of you, the person for you to be disciplined does not love you. Because whatever we avoid now, it will find you in the future. Character is built over a period of time. And discipline is one of the tools God uses to build a character that is worth talking about. So when you miss these opportunities, like raising a child, you spare the whip today, you say, no, he's young, you don't do anything up to them. You are missing an opportunity to discipline that child. The next time you are not present, and God forbid you are not alive at that particular time as a parent, that child will struggle. But for those who have been orphaned for a long period of time, like myself, I will indicate to you that because of the discipline that my father mated just in the few years of my childhood, and also my mother, the little time I spent with them on earth, is what shaped me to behave well in their homes of those who opened their homes to take care of us for a short period of time that we were staying with them. I must indicate that I never smoked in my uncle's house. I never drank in my uncle's house. I never did certain things because I knew that this was wrong, not from my uncle's perspective, but because my mom told me that. And it's out of this discipline that, if you remember those who grew up in the time of the counter times, you see anything can fly anytime from the hands of your mother. And that wasn't abuse, it was discipline. And we knew that when a certain movement is done by your mother or your father, you realize, I have to disappear. And it is out of that discipline that we are where we are today. But fast forward now, we think discipline a child is not going to help. And this is where it comes at family. What we avoid for a child to cry when they are young, whenever a parent ensures that a child does not cry when they are young, it's a parent that will cry when the child is old. That's why we are seeing adults today above 30, above sometimes at 40, they're still staying with their parents. The simple reason, you neglected the aspect of discipline. But coming back to the marketplace, you will realize that everything that we do in the marketplace, we are accountable. You will be accountable because you know that punishment shall come if at all this thing that I've done is wrong. And this is what I want also to indicate. How do you develop this process of ensuring that you and discipline are at variance? Because if you are doing what is right, you are a righteous person, whatever you are doing is correct, it'd be very difficult for you to be found wanting or to be disciplined. But someone will ask, what should I do to ensure that I'm always in the right side of the law, right side of my superiors, right side of my with the people that are supervising me? I will quickly indicate that in the book of Luke, Jesus was talking about an aspect of saying, can we honestly start building a tower before we count the cost? So this is one of the issues, one of the scriptures that I've held dearly over a period of time. Before I make a decision, I ask myself, what is the cost of this decision that I'm making? I'll give an example. Suppose I am almost getting myself into a relationship within the marketplace, within my office premises. The first question I ask myself, at what cost will this come with? First and foremost, I'm going to ask myself a simple thing is, how will my wife look at me after I go into this relationship? So that's discipline. Discipline is a foundation, but it is anchored on decisions that you make. So when you look at it, said, how my wife react? Again, I'll bring it to the women. You see, it works for the women and the wives. I'm saying the wife now is trying to start a relationship at the office or with anybody else for that matter. How will my husband react when he finds out about this? It doesn't matter what you're going through, whether he's unemployed, whether he doesn't work, whether he's had no income, he has just lost his job. It doesn't matter. The question is, how will he react? That's number one. So I put that one. Secondly, what will my children think of me with this decision that I've made? That's number two. Number three, my extended family, how will they look at me with this decision that I've made now to go outside and have a relationship with another woman or with another man? So these are the things that I need to do. Then the next thing I'm asking myself, I'm already above 50. And suppose this lady, the young lady, becomes pregnant. What will I be doing with that child that is going to be born? That's my offspring. So I'm counting the cost. The question I ask myself is, should I start paying school fees at the age of 50 or 51? Or should I start investing into my portfolio? That's the question I'm asking. So now the situation we're having is that we're having men who are retiring at 55 and refusing to retire at 55, they're going up to 60 because of indiscipline. Because they started having kids again at the age of 40. And those kids have to be sponsored because they're your own flesh and blood, whether they are in the house or outside the house. It's even better when they're in the house, because if you've got older children, they'll take care of their siblings and their mothers will support it. So this is how I make decisions. And I'm saying, for me to be in discipline now, the consequences that come with that decision of dating that person or deciding to do otherwise, it's a cost. And Jesus was saying, can you build this tower? Can you afford this tower? And see to its logical conclusion. The other issue that comes in, while I leave that woman that I'm dating and I go back to my home where my wife is, I'm also worried another man is going into that house that I'm paying for. And I'm losing time. A man who is chasing lust can never develop. That's why they always say, no, make your money and the women will follow you. But that's a mirage. That's a mirage. It's a chase after the wind. The bottom line is, what cost are you undergoing? Is your mental stamina? Can you afford to think of developing as an individual while you are pursuing this particular issue? So that's a cost. The other issue that I like dating is the issue of, I like using is the Ecclesiastes 7:8, which says the end of the matter is better than the beginning. So the question is, if I make a decision every time, I always say, if I'm making a decision now, even now I've decided to say, okay, fine, I'm going to do this presentation. What's the end of the matter with what I'm doing? Even those who are just beginning up there, people are here listening to me, those who are on this platform. You've just joined, you've been working for 5 years, you are 25 years, you are 30 years old. Retirement, it's coming whether you like it or not. It can come unannounced. You can go out on medical grounds. You can be you can be sent home and just stay home for a long period of time. And all these we've seen people go through. The question is, what have you done today to prepare for that particular issue? Is more important than the beginning. You can afford the money now, but what are you seeing in the next 20 years? When you reach, what will become of you? So all in a certain area and developing very quickly because you are doing a family. If you are disciplined enough, and also as a husband, there are two things that you have. "31." Sorry about the call that came in. So when we look at the book of Proverbs 31, it talks that he has confidence in her, and she lacks. Let me apologize. Can be. Am I clear? Am I again?
Yes, you are. We can hear you.
Thank you so much. So good morning again. Sorry about that loss of transmission. But let me just continue. Maybe just a quick under 10 minutes. I wind up. What I was indicating is that discipline anchors a lot of things in our lives, especially the marketplace, and also even in our home. So I was indicating that if you look at a couple that is disciplined, will never waste time discussing issues that are retrogressive in their lives. And like what I quoted in the book of Proverbs 31, 10 to 11, where I was indicating that a man who has full confidence in his wife, that woman lacks nothing of value, Now, nothing of value is many things that we are looking out there for. And you will see this in many situations, that in discipline, when it creeps in, it's about looking for things of value. But what I'm saying now is that if you embrace discipline, and it doesn't mean that you will never be disciplined even after you become born again or you are a believer. There will come a time that you make a mistake, but your attitude is, how do you react to someone when they want to discipline you for something you know you've rightly done wrong? And this is where maturity comes in, especially in the life of a believer, and especially one who's in the marketplace and one who also is heading a family, set for us men. Because if I've done something wrong, I've offended someone, I've offended the system, like where I work, or I have offended an individual out there. One thing that we need to understand is that discipline has to follow. Anything that is void of discipline, when you've done something wrong, you are destroying that particular person. So we need to understand and appreciate the fact that when discipline is meted on us, the question we ask ourselves, did I do anything wrong? Sometimes we are being punished for something that we are not aware of, or something that we didn't do. But again, when you start to look at yourself and how come you found yourself there, you realize that you enabled a certain activity that took place. You were there to witness a colleague do a wrong thing. You are there to witness a wife to someone misbehaving, and you just watched. And God says you are supposed to be the one to tell that person that what they've done is wrong. If they don't hear about it, bring another one as a witness and say it in their presence. When something happens to them, that life is not on you. But you find some of the things that we go through is because we entertain them, but we're not the ones who are doing them, but we are enabling them. We are able to celebrate or tell someone, no, go ahead. You're a man, you can have another relationship. No. As long as she doesn't know. As long as you buy bread for her, you pay for the rent, you're taking care of the kids. Why should she bother about what you're doing? The question is, it's not about them trying to solidify a decision that is wrong. The question is about righteousness. Is it right before God? If the answer is no, whether I am clapping for you, I'm killing you, I'm not helping you. So a good friend, a good person who you're going to associate is one who's going to say, you're a married woman, you cannot do this. You cannot have an extramarital affair. The moment you have someone who claps for you to doing a wrong thing, then that person does not love you. Even when they look as if they are supporting, they can even give you money to go and do a wrong thing. It doesn't mean that they love you. They actually hate you, because the people who love you discipline. That's why you find when a husband tells you, I don't want you to come late, I don't want you to associate with this person. Same thing with a wife. She'll tell you, no, what you are doing is wrong. You cannot do this. And you end up not listening to your wife, because you think you are the man of the house and you are the leader. That is wrong. You find eventually that failed discipline that was supposed to be done a year ago, it will come and manifest in a child outside wedlock. And now is when you start seeing the bills going towards that particular family, that you start now understanding that what your wife was telling you, she could see the end from the beginning. And that's what is very important to understand. And it's key for everyone who's listening to me on this platform, that these things are not supposed to be taken lightly. A decision today, a small decision you're making today, just going out for a moment, and I must indicate this outside the topic I was trying to indicate, is one thing that we need to understand, that men will sleep with women who are available, but women who choose the men will sleep with men who they've chosen. So there are two different factors here. So now, because of that indiscipline, a man will think you are just available, but for the other person, it's not like that. So you need to understand what God has called you to be, to do these particular issues that are available for us to do what is correct. it's important that now, as I conclude in this particular presentation, the takeaways are: always look at the end before you do something. See the end. How is it ending? That is the issue. The second thing you're going to do is count the cost. Then also understand the cost of discipline. It comes at a cost. And once you are disciplined enough, a lot of avenues in your life will be opened. And once those avenues are opened, then you'll be in a position to see yourself start growing as an individual. A family that wastes time dealing with the issues of relationships can never develop, can never have an investment mind, can never look at retirement, because they are ever dealing with things now. What do I do now? How do I benefit now? They are not focused in the future, because what they see is every time firefighting. And this is the challenge that I see in many families, in many individuals. So, in conclusion, I must indicate that for you to succeed in life, you need to be disciplined. You need to love. You need to understand that love always is accompanied by discipline. And this is one of the issues that we need to embrace as human beings, as a nation, as an institution, as families, and even as individuals. Discipline and love. Punishment, discipline, and love, they go together. They are a set. You cannot love without discipline. Opposite is the case. In conclusion, I must indicate that we need to embrace discipline. We need to embrace love. This is all I had for you. Thank you very much, and stay blessed.